sound signals.
Hello, music people of the internet. Turns out I did not have my camera properly focused the first time I did this video, so this is the second time I'm doing it. Luckily, this is a very quick one, and it didn't take me too long. So let's get into it. That fan is blowing my paper and shit everywhere. Okay, so I was browsing around on Spotify last night, and I came across the new releases section, and there was an album there called "Give Me My Change" by Young Hines. My first thought was, I've never heard of the Young Hines. Who is that band? But it turns out that's just the dude's name, Young Hines. The whole album had like a bluesy rock and roll kind of feel, which I really liked, and I don't hear too much. Young Hines was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and raised in Griffin, Georgia, and he ended up moving to Chicago, where he, started recording in his little studio, giving out his albums at local shows, that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the album. The album opens up with a track called Young Again, and my first thought was, this is like a dirty blues kind of feel. I'm digging this. The downside to it was that this song was over before I even realized what was going on. Track 2 is Give Me My Change, and you're greeted by Young saying, "Give me my fucking change back." Like when I was listening to it, he sounded right here in my face, like all up in my space. Another first thought of mine was, this sounds like the Rencontres. I was like, is that Jack White? And that's when I found out his name was Young Hines, and no, it was not Jack White. But I also found out in the biography, by reading into it, that Young Hines actually did open up for the Rencontres, which made sense to me because they sound so similar. They go good together. And I love the end of the song where he's just screaming, "Change me back." And he does it with this sense of desperation and pain. The next track, Don't Break My Fall. All I could think about in this song was how it reminded me of another song. The style in this one made me think of another one, but I couldn't pinpoint it, and it was just bugging the hell out of me the whole song. I want to say it's like another country song, and I'm leaning toward like Shania Twain. I don't know. If you're a big fan of country and all that, listen to this song and tell me what country song that is that sounds like this, like the same singing style. The next track, I Ask This of You. You are greeted by a smooth, jazzy bass line. You got those megaphone style vocals. I really like that megaphone style on the vocals. They sound real raspy and dry. But the thing I liked on this song was that during the verses, you had the megaphone style vocals, but it was like coated with a very monotone, low style vocals, and they were saying the exact same thing, and it just went so good together. Track 5, You Keep Me Going, has a poppy, colorful piano followed with a bouncy bass line. The whole feel on this track is way different from the whole beginning of the album. This one has a more like poppy feel, and the first 4 tracks were very dark, bluesy. I was digging those first tracks, but this one's it's okay, but I much prefer the dark blues rock and roll feel. Track 6, No One Knows, the megaphone style vocals are back. The song as a whole is very messy, and I just remember he was screaming like no. And an organ makes an appearance. I'm a huge fan of organs no matter what the song is. If I hear an organ in there, I'm gonna love it. Track 7, Just Say No, Sometimes. This is another song that just sounds strangely familiar. I don't know why. It's got a rock and roll feel sprinkled with a tad bit of country. It goes together very well. Track 8, Hold You and Scold You. My first thoughts on this song were, yes, that dark bluesy rock and roll feel is back. I mean, he's just making that guitar cry and whine. I mean, that's that kind of dirty blues I like. Track 9, Rainy Day. The only thing I noted on this track was I sensed a heavy influence of the Beatles. If you listen to the song, I just hear the Beatles like screaming at me, like I was like the Beatles influence. Track 10, Better Things. I just wrote down meh, sucks. Track 11, Can't Explode. Seems like another attempt at a blues song, but it failed. And in this song, he's just screaming his lungs out. Track 12, Lost in the Mix. The only thing that was in the song was a guitar and vocals. It was just an acoustic song, just him singing and playing guitar. It was kind of putting me to sleep. He started doing this little woo thing at the minute and 10-second mark, and it just made me cringe. I mean, it sounded like nails on a chalkboard. And the last track on the album, Forever Young, is a very poppy song filled with piano. It reminded me of like one of those songs that plays at the end of a chick flick. The girl and the dude arm in arm skipping down a pier or something. And that wraps up the whole album of Young Hines, Give Me My Change. All I can say, I was very pleasantly surprised with this album. There's not a lot of like rock and roll blues out there, and it's so refreshing to hear this. The only other band besides the Ranconchers that have this similar style, but Ranconchers are more, I don't know, you know their style. But as far as dark, dirty blues, there's a band I would like to recommend called Swapmeet Shakedown. Now Swapmeet Shakedown was it was a little side project. They only made one album, and that's all they planned to do, and that's all they're gonna do, and they're never gonna do anything else again. But the singer from the punk band Time Again made the side band Swapmeet Shakedown, which now he's in Stormy, California. But Stormy, California's pop. This was dirty blues. That was straight up street punk. So yeah, I definitely recommend them. If you like more slower blues, I recommend the song Your Number 2. And if you like the more uppity beat kind of stuff, there's a song called Sick Kid. Strongly recommend it. I will leave the songs down below. I already searched YouTube. They're actually... Yay, my camera is so awesome. I love how it shuts off in the middle of my thing. I paid $600 for this, and it keeps shutting off in the middle of recording. So yeah, slow song, Your Number 2. More upbeat song, Sick Kid. I really love Swapmeet Shakedown. I can't recommend them enough. So yeah, my honest opinion, I am very glad I stumbled across this this album. Give Me My Change. Totally not what I was expecting. I was not expecting that kind of style, and it's so refreshing to hear something so good. So anyway, that's everything from me for tonight. Don't forget to press the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts of the album, or please recommend me new albums you would like to see me review here soon. And press thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.